Hey guys, Mark here with Wolters World, and we are in the land of Budweiser beer, or Bud Light this time, Marlboro cigarettes, Jack Daniels whiskey. We're in the U.S., guys, and we're enjoying our time here. Now, through all my travels around the world, when I've met people that have gone to the U.S., or while I've been traveling around the last 2 months in the U.S., I meet a lot of foreign tourists, or non-U.S. tourists, and they have a lot of complaining. They say, what's with all the weird beer laws, alcohol laws, and cigarette bans? I don't understand. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Wolters World, America Explained, drinking and smoking in the U.S. Now, the first thing is, when you come to the U.S., you have to realize we are pretty strict with our laws about alcohol and smoking, okay? If you want to buy cigarettes, or smoke cigarettes, or have cigarettes, you need to be 18 years old. Now, if you're under 18, you shouldn't smoke. It's bad for your health. It says so somewhere on here. Oh, very tiny right there, okay, that you shouldn't smoke. Now, the thing is, guys, it's very hard to get this. They're going to ask you for your ID to buy cigarettes, and with beer, so it's 18 for cigarettes. With alcohol, you have to be 21 years old to buy, to buy or to possess alcohol, okay? And the thing is, they're very strict with this. If you're under 21 and you're caught with alcohol, you can be arrested. You can be fined. They can throw you in jail. I've met many exchange students that came over during the high school years, and they got caught having some alcohol, and guess what? Their visa got revoked, and they had to go back to their home countries. It does happen, okay? So I want to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone out there, okay? So remember, 18 for cigarettes, 21 for beer. Now, you may ask yourself, well, what's all the big deal with all the alcohol and stuff like that here in the U.S.? Well, guys, the U.S. has a history of kind of, though we have our whiskey and our beer, though my European friends make fun of us, but I actually like Budweiser. We have a long history back in the day of people going against alcohol. From 1919 until 1930, the actual production, sale, and consumption of alcohol in the United States was banned. Okay, it was prohibition. You actually couldn't have a drink. You couldn't go there and go, "Ooh, I want a beer. Here's a beer." I'm 33, so I can have a beer. Thank you very much. Though I'm sure I look much younger, though put on a little weight the last couple of years, if you've seen the videos. Anyway, the thing is, there are some pretty strict laws about drinking in the U.S. And you may say, well, I'm 33 years old, so what's the problem with me? Guys, you can get in trouble for other things, okay? If you purchase alcohol or cigarettes for anyone under 21 for alcohol or 18 for cigarettes, you can be arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Yes, I realize it sounds kind of funny to my German friends and my Portuguese friends and my Brazilian friends. What? My little kid goes and buys my beer for me. Believe me, I've gone to my stores in Portugal, and the little kids are buying their alcohol for their parents. Okay? Well, here, like I said, contributing delinquency to a minor, that is an arrestable offense. You can be getting very big trouble for that. So in order to control these, making sure the right people are buying things and not buying things, you will get what is called ID'd when you come to the U.S., whether you're buying cigarettes or beer or wine or whatever, alcohol. Okay? And so don't get upset when someone asks you for your ID. I'm 33. They still ask me ID when I go to bars and restaurants because they have to. It's not because they think you look young, though they'll tell you that. It's because if they get caught selling alcohol to someone that's underage or doesn't have an ID, then they get a big fine and they can be arrested. So for legal purposes, for the restaurant or bar, they have to ask. Or the gas station. So don't be offended by it. Don't be like, well, why do I have to take my ID? Because that's one of the biggest complaints I get from Europeans coming to the U.S. on vacation, okay, is about having to have their ID all the time. So you're going to have to carry that. So carry your ID if you smoke and drink. Carry it with you if you want, if you're going to buy anything, or if you're going to go to a club, things like that. You need to have an ID to get in. Now, some other things out there. In terms of legal aspect, obviously drinking and driving in the U.S., drinking and driving anywhere is bad. Never do it. Make sure you have a designated driver. In the U.S., we have very strict policies. If you have drank too much, even a little bit, they will arrest you on the spot. You will be in the slammer downtown at the county courthouse, or the city courthouse, or whatever, at the county jail, like that. Okay? They have checkpoints set up in cities on the weekends and weekdays or holidays, out on the highways, just to check to make sure no one has been drinking. Okay? So, make sure, if you're going to be drinking, have your friend be a designated driver, or if you're at a bar, a lot of bars, they will just call a taxi for you. They're like, hey, we'll call it for you. Maybe sometimes they pay for it, sometimes you pay for it, but they'll call for you to get you a taxi to get you home, okay? So there's no reason to ever drink and drive, okay? Because they're very strict about that here in the U.S. Another law that is is very strict is open liquor. That is walking around down the street drinking. You can't do that. Okay, some places they have the brown bag law, so you can have a brown bag over it so they don't know what's happening, but they'll still harass you. There's very few towns and cities in America where you can actually walk down the street drinking. Okay, you have Las Vegas, you have New Orleans, Savannah, Beale Street in Memphis. Then it kind of falls off. Okay, so if you're going to be drinking, you're either going to stay at your house or in your hotel or in the bar or restaurant. Don't take stuff around and drink around because you can get in trouble. All right, and you can get arrested for having open liquor. Now, obviously, sometimes they have some city festivals where they let you walk around and drink. Those do take place, but on the safe side, do not walk around with open liquor. All right? Some other stuff in terms of laws about liquor and alcohol in the United States. Every city and county has the right to make up their own laws. So you will go to some towns and you literally can't buy alcohol, or a county where you can't buy alcohol. Imagine a country, a place the size of Luxembourg, well, not Luxembourg, it's too big, like Liechtenstein or Andorra, and you actually can't buy any alcohol in that space, in that county, because it's called a dry county. Where they make Jack Daniel's whiskey, you can't buy alcohol there. It is a dry county. Now, you can buy alcohol in the distillery, but outside the shops, no one sells it because it's a dry county. And each state and each city has their own rules. A typical one, if you're like in the southeast of the U.S., is no liquor on Sundays. Other towns, they sell no liquor after midnight or before 10, things like that. So if you're traveling around and you want to be partying, you're having your kind of bachelor party time, or whatever, make sure you check the laws beforehand, so if you need to stock up beforehand, you can. Now, in these dry counties and stuff like that, you can buy alcohol outside and bring it in because it's not illegal to actually have it. It's just illegal to sell it or buy it there. Okay? Now, that kind of gives you an idea on the drinking side of things. Now, the smoking side of things, this is one that my European friends, I've lived in Portugal for 4 years, where basically everyone and every baby seems to smoke like crazy. I mean, they make non-smoking sections, not smoking sections, okay? And here in the U.S., if you smoke, people are going to look at you like you have the plague. They're going to look at you, and you will probably hear people say, "You're killing my baby. I don't want to die from your secondhand smoke." You will get that. I don't smoke. I hate smoking, okay? But I find it kind of funny when people yell at people about smoking, okay? Because most of the time, Americans, when they're in high school and college, they did smoke. So now that they're older and have kids, they're all, "Hey, don't do that." Well, the thing is, when you go to the U.S., there's a lot of restrictions on where you can smoke. You can't smoke in buildings and bars and restaurants. I mean, some places you can smoke in bars, but basically restaurants, hotels, bars, anywhere it's smoke-free. You can't smoke. Now, what you have to do is you have to go outside, but it's not just by the door. You have lots of places you have to go at least 10 to 20 feet away. So, like 5 meters, 10 meters away from the front door, you have to go smoke, okay, in front of that establishment. All right? So there's a lot of really laws about that. So and if you do smoke, cigarettes are actually a lot cheaper in the U.S. than they are in Europe and other not South America, but in Europe they're a lot cheaper here if you compare to like Germany or the UK. But just be prepared to have a lot of people look at you and give you these dirty looks. So I hope this helps explain a little bit about the U.S. If you want to learn more about the U.S. or learn languages like German or Spanish or Italian, or you want to see where you should go when you travel in Brazil or Italy or wherever, we have lots of videos explaining travel and more about America and languages and business and all kinds of things on our website at www.woltersworld.com. Wolters World is with an O, Wolters, not a dang O. Okay, so www.woltersworld.com. Look on the more info thing up here in the YouTube site or wherever they have it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit about the U.S. I'm going to enjoy some Bud Light, not Budweiser. Fridge was a little thing. I'm watching my figure, so some Bud Light. I will not be smoking the cigarettes, so don't worry about that. So have a great time, learn a lot, enjoy your trip to the United States. I hope I've helped explain a little bit more of America. Have a good one. Bye.